As we told you at the top of this newscast, the Trump administration has reversed course and now agrees to leave D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith in control of her own department. Now, that compromise comes after the president deployed hundreds of federal officers to the district in an attempt to combat crime. And here to discuss the very latest developments is University of Virginia assistant professor and retired MPD and federal officer Joshua Ederheimer. Thanks so much. Joshua Ederheimer, I should say. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Kelly. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I think you bring a very interesting perspective to this conversation since you have held positions with the Justice Department and MPD. Will you please tell our viewers a little bit about your background?
Sure. 23 years with the Washington, D.C. Police Department. I attained the rank of Assistant Chief, and then I worked at the Department of Justice, where I led the COPS office, which basically supports state and local law enforcement across the country. And then I just retired from the Department of Homeland Security, where I was the Deputy Director of the Federal Protective Service.
Wow, very interesting. I'd love your opinion about this latest compromise between the Trump administration and D.C. leaders to keep Pamela Smith in control of MPD. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I look at it two ways, politically and operationally. Politically, putting that aside for a quick moment, that's about control, it's about home rule, it's about philosophy. Operationally is what's happening on the street. What are the commanders and officers thinking, and how are they dealing with this? I do think this has created a great deal of confusion and stress for the DC police officers on the street. Just think about in your own workplace. If your two vice presidents said they were in charge and you were getting different directives from both, that would make for a really tough day.
Indeed. And despite this latest compromise, the judge does believe that the Home Rule Act gives the president the authority to use MPD officers for federal purposes, but on an emergency basis. She was extremely clear about the fact that the mayor cannot say no to this. So how concerned should D.C. leaders be about this, and should we expect the president to take this kind of action?
Well, I don't think that this issue is going away. I really, like I said in the beginning, it's a philosophical issue and a home rule control issue. Ultimately, will people feel safer in the District of Columbia? I think they will and they won't. They will in that there is a surge in law enforcement, so that is going to have an impact on crime, just their sheer massive presence from all of these agencies. But if it's sustainable, I don't know. What's going to happen when federal law enforcement and the Guard leave the streets? The DC police, they're going to be there, remaining there, and they're understaffed.
Yeah, are you expecting any additional legal challenges at this point?
I would expect additional legal challenges. I don't think that the Trump administration is going to back off, and clearly the district government is not backing off. So it's going to be this continued conflict, probably more court cases. And keep in mind, right, the House, the Senate, and the White House are in Republican hands. So I don't know if that bodes well for the district. So hopefully things will settle and they can compromise and work together. But I'm not sure we're seeing that right now.
An incident that has generated a lot of attention involved the man who threw the sandwich at the federal law enforcement officer. Attorney General Pam Bondi saying that the Justice Department employee was fired after his arrest and also charged with felony assault. But some are now questioning the way this case is being handled when you consider that the president has pardoned many of the January 6th rioters. What's your take on this?
Well, looking at the behavior itself, it was pretty despicable. Just if you watch that entire video from the beginning, you can see this person screaming at officers in their faces, cursing at them, demeaning them. That's really not acceptable behavior by anybody, no less to law enforcement. So I don't know how wise that was for him to do that, especially as a DOJ employee. But I think it is an indicator of some disrespect for law enforcement that's being played out publicly in the media and in the community.
All right, that is Joshua Ederheimer joining us to share his perspective on the latest developments concerning the Trump administration and MPD. We thank you for being here.
Thanks, Kelly.